All right. Okay, I think everything's in order. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to even more Games Bond. What is up? The Tones, Dark Rift, Space Hypercopter, Freeware Pirate, lurkers in chat, VOD viewers, and everybody else. Welcome, welcome. I was about to say I'm excited, which I mean I kind of am. I'm very excited to have Games Bond back in action. It may, however, be a slight stretch to say that I'm enthused about playing more Rogue Agent for the DS, but you know, it'll this too shall pass. Although, to be honest, after playing through the first 2 levels, I guess, yesterday, I'm feeling pretty good about this game because it's simultaneously unfortunately similar to the console game, and sharing in some of that game's shortcomings, but it also appears to kind of be missing the arguably most egregious issue. The arguably most egregious issue of GoldenEye Rogue Agent for console appears to be absent in the DS version, or at least far lesser. And that is the horrendously, never-endingly stretched out, meandering tediousness, how long the levels are. I don't know that impressed is the right word, but when we played it last time, I was surprised at how similar a lot of the, or how like recognizable a lot of the layouts were in the levels. Individual rooms and individual encounters were like distinctly recognizable from the other game, which is like kind of impressive given how utterly forgettable the entire experience is, and that it's been like 3 months since we played it. But I kept like recognizing like, oh yeah, this is actually kind of familiar. This seems familiar. I've seen this before, but it really feels like the stages in the DS game are kind of very truncated versions. But I honestly was not really expecting, like, I'm hesitant to use the word like impressed because I don't know that it's like a good thing, but there's something impressive, I suppose, about like just the production and like being able to take that game and like translating it to this kind of format and having it be in a lot of ways largely intact. It would have, probably felt a bit cooler and more impressive and more good if it was a good game that was translated faithfully. And this is not the case. In fact, we did do the tier list update in which we placed the console version of Rogue Agent in the F tier. It is a game that elicits strong emotions when I think of it. It is simultaneously a mediocre, bland, forgettable game, but also a game that like burrows its way into my brain and like becomes the kind of epitome and poster child for all kinds of annoying shit. What's up, Mendel? What's up, Nikita Lobo? Greetings. And it is funny how the DS version, like, there hasn't been a single game that we've played where there's been like a console version and a handheld version. Honestly, setting aside like computer games that were released on like 5 different computer platforms, I don't think there's been any game that has had multiple different versions where they have felt like equivalent. Probably the closest is The World's Not Enough. I mean, the Game Boy Color game notwithstanding, of course. The PS1 and N64 games based on that film are structurally similar and have, kind of overlapping parts in some ways, but they're at its core 2 different games. And in my memory, I did like the N64 one better, but the PS1 game had like a leg up in a few places, and it had all like the tremendous amount of FMV cutscenes and stuff, which is kind of cool. It adds to the experience. So I think those were like different, but qualitatively kind of equivalent. But whether it's been a game that has a console and a handheld version, or something like James Bond Jr. on NES and Super Nintendo, or Duel, or Nightfire, they always tend to be kind of different. And of course, you know, a console game and a portable handheld version, it doesn't really matter what generation we're talking about. Maybe, and this isn't applicable to James Bond, but maybe if you had a game that was on NES and had a Game Boy version, you could expect them to offer a broadly similar kind of experience. But I feel like that's beyond that, that's not something you expect. Nightfire had, you know, the guts to try to be a first-person shooter on the GBA, and it's, you know, ambitious. And that too had very occasionally bits that you could kind of recognize. I mean, the final boss is a great example. Final boss in GBA Nightfire is like a shockingly, you know, competent recreation of the console game's final boss, which is already in the console game kind of the most memorable set piece aspect, or one of them anyway. And the fact that they not only tried, but in my opinion, fairly successfully pulled off recreating that on the GBA is like, wow, that's pretty cool. But, you know, beyond that, it's a very different game, and it's a pretty fucking annoying game. So not exactly, you know, the same, and you wouldn't expect it. Of course, you've had plenty of games, and you know, not just within this challenge, but just in general. But we've had it a few times, and we'll have it more times, I reckon. Games where you have a, you know, a 3D console version, the kind of 2D simplified, whatever, portable version. What I'm getting at is, like, I would never go into something like a DS quote-unquote port GoldenEye Rogue Agent expecting it to really bear any amount of resemblance to the console game. So the fact that it's not just, you know, even if they were doing an FPS, I feel like Nightfire is sort of the baseline of what I would expect, where it's like, yeah, you can kind of recognize broadly what they were adapting. But no, like, it's surprisingly kind of one-to-one in a lot of places. It maintains very similar, you know, aspects of level design, certain like individual rooms that are very recognizable. It keeps the dual wielding mechanic. It keeps the, I mean, so far we've only got the first ability of seeing through walls in the kind of mag rail, like the design of the weapons. I mean, I'm not talking about the visual design, but like how they function. The mag rail's weird, like delayed startup and stuff. It is very, very clearly a game that is attempting to recreate, or, you know, at the very least model itself after that console game, and it is pretty successful in that sense. So I really wasn't expecting that. But again, the pacing and tremendously boring levels of the console game were kind of the big flaw that exacerbates every other issue with the game. So that alone, like making stages shorter, it isn't only a matter of I'm having a bad time and it will end sooner, therefore better. I mean, that is a factor, sure, but there's so many little things that like can be aggravating that never really kind of build up to that point because you kind of move on to something else. So, and of course, having the frame of reference from having played the console game makes the GBA or the DS game just feel like a smoother experience in comparison. El Gavati, thanks for the follow, by the way. World's Not Enough with a PS1 was your first Bond game. Got far, planning to play at least FPS Bond games at some point, starting with GoldenEye. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid stretch of games, although, I mean, a little bit uneven, I suppose. I don't have it on hand, but if we were to take a look at the tier list, I would say, I mean, come to think of it, I guess it is a little bit all over the place, especially if you take into account like the PC Nightfire, which isn't great, stuff like that. But The World's Not Enough on N64, I think, is holds up very well and is in a lot of ways, like, it's clearly a game that is building itself like off of GoldenEye, and it attempts to kind of build on a lot of the ideas that GoldenEye had, and I feel like it's a game that gets, I don't want to say unfairly maligned, because I don't feel like people really talk much about it in general, but for how much people fucking love GoldenEye, I think that in relation to that, The World's Not Enough probably deserves more credit than it gets. And I thought it was a cool game. Like, it has some issues, of course, like the controls are a bit fucked up, but if you play with the D-pad plus analog stick control scheme, it mitigates a lot of that. Like, where aiming is actually possible. Like, it's a game to anyone who is like remotely in the market of checking out a N64 first-person shooter. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend World's Not Enough. I'd say it's among the better games. Console Nightfire is great. It has a few sticking points, like the vehicle levels being not great and everything, but it's a good time for sure. And Everything or Nothing is like a fucking god game. It's extremely awesome. And I reckon that to a degree, some of the future Bond console games are gonna be a little more, I don't know, by the numbers. More kind of what you would expect of a, you know, modern console third-person shooter. I mean, at least one, but I think multiple games were developed by Treyarch. They did Quantum of Solace, I think, and Bloodstone, maybe. I think they did one or two console games, and they were one of the Call of Duty studios. I mean, a lot of them now, but when Call of Duty first, like, they were the first Call of Duty studio that weren't Infinity Ward, basically. After Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 is when Infinity Ward and Treyarch would sort of trade. They would leapfrog each other and release. Either studio would release a game every other year, so there's the new Call of Duty every year. So this would have aligned with that somewhat, I think, and be something they were doing in between that, or maybe before. I'm not sure, but you know, so Treyarch is obviously a studio that has a good track record, and you could do a lot worse than kind of building a Call of Duty like Bond first-person shooter. But I think it also, like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. But I wonder if once we get to like the 360, to what degree possibly some of those games are just going to be kind of less interesting. There's going to be less of a sort of, not necessarily time capsule, but like the interesting thing about like PS1 and N64 shooter action games like that, and even PS2 OG Xbox games, is that there's a lot of things that just weren't as codified and normalized and sort of, you know, fit into this cookie cutter standard template of how to do a game like that. Whether it's controls, whether it's, you know, visual presentation and rendering, whether it's level design, whether it's mission structure, etc. Like, you go from GoldenEye to Tomorrow Never Dies to The World's Not Enough to Everything or Nothing and Nightfire, Agent Under Fire. Like, all of those are kind of different, and none of them feel like they're built off of a kind of a typical template, because it's just like where first-person shooters were at that time, and, you know, adjacent kinds of games. Whereas by the time you get to not just the Call of Duty era, but like one of the studios that make Call of Duty games, I feel like it's gonna be a little more predictable, I guess. I don't want to say like by the numbers or, you know, like it's a boring bad thing, but just I wonder how many idiosyncrasies or unique kind of stand out aspects those games will have. Now, it is entirely possible that they will have less of that, but they will be on, you know, as a trade-off, so to speak, of just a more fun time, which, you know, I'm cool with that. But in a sense, I think games that are in some way idiosyncratic, in some ways quirky or their own thing, are just on average, you know, games that I find more interesting to go back to. But at the same time, like, as far as this project goes, I predict boldly that we're not really going to have a too bad of a home stretch slog like I kind of did with Batman. In case you were not aware, a number of years ago, I did a similar project to this, but where we played all Batman games. And that was a longer list of games. Well, yeah, a little bit longer, but it had... There's 50 Batman or Bond games, plus a few like bonus mission games. I think with Batman, there were technically 65 games on the list, but not all of the... Like, some of those were DLC campaigns. Like, Arkham Knight had like 7 DLC things, and some of them were like 40 minutes long, so not exactly full games, but... As games go, I think there were 55 or something like that. 50-something. So, broadly equivalent. But the thing with Batman games is that they... At the time when I did that project, I think... I'm trying to think, was Arkham VR... That was not the last game. Telltale Batman Season 2? Lego Batman 3? I forget. Something like that. I think there was 1 or 2 things after Arkham Knight. Did I play Batman Returns on the Mega CD? Is that a Batman game that came out? Then yes. I sure as shit didn't finish that game, though. That is an impossible game for aliens. But we played it. The thing with Batman is that and part of why it made for such a great subject for such a project is that it has a very long stretch of time. The first Batman game coming out in 1986 through, you know, at the time, 2017, 2016, there was basically no period in that entire time frame where there weren't Batman games coming out. With Bond, it's a little bit of a different story. It's like a little more scattershot. Like the earliest Bond games, earlier than the first Batman game, but it's a little more scattershot. And then the final Bond game on the list is from 2012. Now there have been games after that, but it's basically all mobile games that are no longer running. There have been at least, I want to say, 1 or 2 Bond games after 2012, but because you can't really play them now, it doesn't really make sense to try to include them. And I think 2012, like right around the kind of transition from the Xbox 360 generation to the like Xbox and PS4 gen, is where a lot of current sort of AAA big game design paradigms were beginning to come into play. And one of those things being like just games being fucking long and huge. You have stuff like online aspects and whatever else. Like once you get past, you know, around 2012-ish, is I feel like when a big studio could kind of I don't want to say couldn't, but expectations from consumers were such that it behooved a big publisher like an Activision or an EA or whoever to not put out a like big game that has like a single player campaign that's like 6 hours long. That was normal in like for a long time. And of course there were outliers. You have stuff like Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube that's like a 20-hour game. It's like super long, well paced, and it's a great game. It's not really, it doesn't really suffer from it miraculously, but that wasn't the norm for that style of game. You know, you had God of War on the PS3, and those games are what, like, you know, very roughly a 6 to 10 hour playthrough maybe. And then you have like the PS4 God of War that's like 20 to 40 hours or whatever. I mean, I don't really like measuring games that way, but and I certainly don't use it as a marker of quality or value or anything like that. But I mean, if anything, it's a inversely, what's the word? An inverse correlation, where the longer a game is, the less likely that I like it. At the very least, the more likely I'm gonna quit it before I'm done, before I reach the end. But, James Bond sort of thankfully doesn't really enter that territory. But Batman is a perfect example where there were those like Batman animated series games on the Xbox. There's the Batman Begins movie game. Even up to the first Arkham Asylum, those games broadly were within that, again, very roughly, but let's say 6 to 12 hours. And even then, I think Arkham Asylum, I mean, it's not my first time playing through it, so I could go through it probably quicker than I did the first time. But I want to say that was somewhere between 10 and 15 hours, and that would have been on the longer end of that spectrum. Like Vengeance, Rise of Sinzu, Dark Tomorrow. I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me, but I would be surprised if any of those were over 10 hours. And if they were, it's probably because they were difficult and I had to redo a boss fight 5 times or whatever. So why not? Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course there are like 800-hour Nipponichi strategy RPGs and Persona games and shit like that. Like, there are long games, and different genres and styles of game have different kind of expectations on them. But I think it's one of those things where you have things like Capcom releasing Resident Evil remakes that are, the RE2 remake is, I would say, very broadly of a similar length as the original game. It's not a 20-hour game. It's like a 6-hour game, maybe. Now, of course, you're encouraged to play it multiple times with the different characters, and there's, like, I'm not saying anything about the value proposition or how much fun you can squeeze out of it or whatever. Like, you can play that game for thousands of hours because it's a god game, but it's not a game where they felt compelled to sort of artificially stretch it out or make it last. Like, it's kind of similar to the original, where, of course, back then it was a completely normal thing to have a game of that length. And the reason I single out something like RE2 is because the unusual thing isn't necessarily that it's a short game, but it's a game that didn't really get a lot of shit for being short. Whereas I feel like normally any game of that style, of that ilk, would, like, Call of Duty can also kind of get away with it because a big part of the player base only care about the multiplayers, and that the multiplayer's there, and it's, it was always kind of like that. But there's this expectation of big tentpole releases to be this like gigantic thing that's going to occupy your life, and I just it doesn't gel with my tastes and how I engage with games. So the Batman games, I think, was a pretty interesting example of that, where you could see once we got into that, like, when the project started, I could do one stream where we played like 3 games because they were pretty basic, and I wasn't very thorough. I kind of like got through them pretty quickly and we just kind of moved on. But even so, I could have a feeling of like we've seen the game from beginning to end. And then you get to Arkham Knight, where it's like a 8-stream game, and in between streams I did like off-stream grinding to finish side missions, because that game insanely requires you to beat like every side thing to get the real ending. But even aside from that, it's like a gigantically bloated game. Like, I want to say that Arkham Asylum was maybe, like, I said between 10 and 15, but I think it was closer to 10 hours. It might even have been less. And then Arkham City was like, maybe, like, I'm making this up, but let's say Arkham Asylum was around 10 hours, then I think Arkham City was maybe 12. Arkham Origins was like 15 or 16, and Arkham Knight was like 46 or something. Like, it's just gigantically bloated, and it's like, yeah, it's a big reason why I like it the least out of all those games. But Lego Batman was the same thing. Like, the first game is very like simple level based, and then 2 and 3 there's this kind of open world aspect, and surprisingly I actually enjoyed Lego Batman 2 quite a bit, but I did not like Lego Batman 3. And again, part of it is that it's just this bloat. It just, there's just more of it, but it's not better or more engaging or more fun. So towards the end of that project, like, because every game was this like giant thing, it just became a bit of a slog. And I already feel like preemptively relieved and sort of excited that Bond just never really gets to that territory. And it's not a matter necessarily of the games being bad. I just like have this hang up about like being stuck on the same thing for a long time. Like if I'm doing multiple streams of the same game, I'm gonna feel like this itch to kind of move on. And it became less fun to go back to those games and keep doing them weeks on end. So I think I predict that won't be an issue the same way with Bond. So that's good. And then there's also a healthy amount of mobile games sprinkled in between all the console games, like pretty much all the way through the end. So they're going to be nice little palate cleansers in between the relatively bigger games. And there's also going to be like almost every game. I'm looking at the list right now. From Russia with Love technically has a PSP version, but from my research, it's not really different enough to justify playing it as a separate thing. But with the exception of that game, the remaining console games, most of them have like multiple versions. There's like Quantum of Solace has well, that's really interesting because it's got the 360 game, the PS2 game, then the DS game, and the mobile game. Bloodstone has a console and a DS game. GoldenEye, we're gonna like the remake has the Wii version and the DS version, and then we're playing the PS3 like updated version as well. So there's going to be that kind of comparison between different versions, which I always like kind of enjoy. But you know, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not look off too far into the distance, because in the here and now, we still have GoldenEye Rogue Agent for the Nintendo DS to deal. On that note, why don't we hop on over to the Bond scene? Before we go any further, let me remind you all that the Q Branch Research Funding Initiative is a go. We are continuing with the most recent incarnation of this system because I couldn't be bothered changing it. We have multiple bonus games to be added to the list of games to be played, games that didn't make the cut for one reason or another. But in order to add those games to the list, we need some help from Q Branch, and Q Branch in turn needs some help from you fine folks. All contributions to the channel in the form of bits, in the form of subs, in the form of merchandise purchases or donations will contribute to a rough exchange rate of 100 Q credits to $1, depending on currencies and all that other stuff. But one credit to a bit, at least $2.50 for a sub, and however else that checks out. But anyway, basically, if you contribute to the channel, that goes right into the Q Branch Research Fund. We have a daily objective of reaching 1,000 credits, and once we have done that, we can check off the daily objective. We already reached one on Saturday stream, and once we have done so on 10 separate occasions, that will enable us to do this: to take on the challenge of secret mission number 006, which is Seen It DVD game 007 edition. Which reminds me, I still got to go on eBay or whatever and try to score a copy of this. I don't have it, but I've been looking into it previously. I just need to actually get it now. It's basically it's a quiz game with a DVD with John Cleese surely phoning in the reading of trivia questions relating to James Bond. I don't know what this is going to be like. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of video clips and stuff that is likely to get caught in some kind of rights hell. So I'm going to try to remember to do a local recording of this and see how we can work that out. We had some issues with that when we checked out the ultimate dossier, the multimedia CD-ROM, which was secret mission number 5. That was incredibly sick. I do want to return to this at some point because we kind of barely scratched the surface over the course of 2 streams. Pretty cool. But yeah, next up, whenever we reach our funding goal, will be CNET, the DVD game 007 edition. Today, we are continuing GoldenEye Rogue Agent for the Nintendo DS. So, it does mention here, it's epic 6-mission solo campaign. I don't remember. Actually, maybe we can find out. We have the technology. Well, we had the technology, but there's no mention of how many stages are in this version. I don't think there's much more than 6, but maybe it depends a little bit how they count, because there's like a prologue level, which I don't know, like it. I mean, it's a level. If they want to boost the numbers, they would certainly count it. But I don't want to, you know, I don't want to celebrate anything prematurely. So it's possible that there are 6 full levels in addition to the opening stage. However, after completing the mission following the prologue level, our save file in the game says 42%. It doesn't seem logical to me that that would be an indication of having completed 42% of the game. When you have a percentage that just sits there on a save file, that is usually what it's for. But I don't get it. I don't know. In any case, chances are, if we're a bit lucky, that this game is not all that long. As you can see, we have played for 45 minutes so far, completing 1 or possibly 2 levels. So we're going to keep playing tonight, and I don't expect it, but it is potentially within the realm of possibility that we finish this game tonight. And wouldn't that be something? But more likely, we'll make some progress, and I mean, the later stages might get really hard, so we could get stuck. I don't know, but more likely, we will continue this tonight and probably finish it on Wednesday's stream. But I intend to keep playing this until we beat it, under the assumption that we can beat it by Wednesday, I suppose, because I have some other plans for the weekend, and Saturday stream, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I have, since last time, reconfigured my DS setup a little bit. This game is... I honestly would kind of like to play this on a real DS, because trying to play this on emulator is a little bit cumbersome. The game does use touch controls. It has a couple of different control schemes, but regardless of... like, even when you play with the buttons mode, that doesn't rely on the screen for aiming, because by default you use the bottom touchscreen to aim, kind of a you know, stand-in for a right analog stick on a console controller. But even when you don't use that control scheme and you use the buttons to aim, you still have to tap the touchscreen to do a bunch of other things, like reloading or using your eyeball gadgets, picking up and dropping weapons, I think. There's a few things like that. So it's hard to visualize the way it looks on my end, because you won't see a difference on stream. But because the game is primarily played on the top screen, I have... the way it's going to be set up on stream, if you weren't here last time, is the main game is going to be like on a big display. And when I normally have chat, we're going to have the bottom screen visible there. And the bottom screen is mostly like kind of UI control stuff. But sometimes during cutscenes, there's like text and stuff on there. But I played on a similar layout when I played yesterday, which meant that like I had a big screen and then the bottom screen was like kind of off to the side. And it made it a little harder to both keep an eye on that screen and kind of control it. So I've changed things around to have have the screens on top of each other on my end, and I'm curious to see if that's going to make things easier. The screen is going to be much smaller for me to look at, the gameplay screen. But hopefully it's going to work out better. If it's a complete shit show, I can revert to the old settings and we'll be fine. But I'm curious to see if that's going to work any better. But without further ado, let's get rid of these jams. Let's... that business. Gonna work with save files and everything. Right. The audio. That sure is a thing in this game. I hope you like whatever the hell this music is, because there's plenty more where that came from. So here we go. See, like, how would you interpret this? Does this not look as though we have completed 42% of the game? Can we listen to this? Just chill in the menus for a bit? Just listen to these jams? Sure. I mean, I should hydrate anyway. Oh, we're getting going here. Drop. Just incredible Bond vibes. What do you say? Should we add this to the dance party playlist, maybe? Someone have a rip of this soundtrack? Those samples are. What's up, Jay? Just a wobbly little voice coming in there. I do vaguely recall the console game also having, like, music that seemed like pretty competent in a way. Not like great, but just like pretty intense, but just like very not Bond-like. Anyway, timer. It's gonna continue. It's gonna start up because we tried this last time. Basically gonna play the cutscene from the end of the level. The load times in this are just whatever. Well done. Accompany Pussy Galore back to Goldfinger's lair to receive your next assignment. Yeah, so the plot so far, we're a disgraced MI6 agent who became super violent after Dr. No incapacitated one of our eyeballs during a mission. After 3 years of just being an unhinged, violent, crazy person, by MI6's standards, we're fired. But luckily, the same day, we just kind of waltz into Goldfinger's office and get a new job there. First day on our new job, Dr. No decides to, break rank and take over the evil organization by stealing the Omen. There's some kind of space laser, death ray, disintegrator weapon of mass destruction. So now we have to join forces with GoldenEye, or Goldfinger's sort of, what do you call it? Like his sort of branch of this evil organization, which appears to consist of about 4 people. There's Goldfinger, Pussy Galore, Oddjob, and Scaramanga. I'm trying to remember if Onatop is ever on our side. I don't think she is. We get to fight her later anyway. But yeah, meanwhile, Dr. No appears to have, at the very least, an infinite number of henchmen and goons. But anyway, I think this stage was like Goldfinger's like Auric Industries, and Dr. No was attacking Auric Industries to maybe to steal the Omen. I don't remember it. Like the plot is just a blurry mess, and it really doesn't. So now you're up to speed. It's pretty funny. It's because we cleared this, like we didn't actually play the level. It just, this is just all blank. What's up, Ace Beck? Greetings. Games Bond and a brilliant name. I mean, I can't lie. When I set out to do Games Bond, it was one of 2 or 3 potential projects. And part of the reason why I chose 007 is because Games Bond is a brilliant name, and I couldn't come up with a even remotely similarly good name for the other potential projects. But, you know, once we're done with Bond, at one point or another, there will likely be one of those projects, and I'll have to think of a good name for that. Because we did the Combat Chronicles, all the MK games, and then we did the Caped Crusade for all the Batman games. Then it's Games Bond. So it's, you know, it's, the standard of naming, I think, is only going up. Continue campaign. I wonder if I remember the controls, but we'll be okay. I've never played a DS game with loading like this. Dr. No will stop at nothing to get the Omen. You are going to Hong Kong to eliminate Dr. No. You will be provided a suitable weapon. Galore will fly you out when the job is done. No's tower is too secure, but you will have a clear shot from the building next door. Don't miss. Yeah, I remember this. So again, the levels are very similar. So this is... Yeah, I hope you guys like Concrete and the color gray, because there's going to be an awful lot of it in this game. We were in the gray hallways of Auric Industries last level, and this time we're going to Hong Kong to see some scenic gray concrete construction site high-rise environments. Spoiler alert, we're not actually going to successfully assassinate Dr. No in this stage. But we're going to go up some rooftops and maybe see some dragon statues and stuff, and you guys better savor that, because that's one of the few instances in this game, well, speaking of the console game, but this seems pretty similar, one of the few instances of seeing anything that could be categorized as visual splendor, any kind. Man, these scan lines, though, they're kind of slightly nauseating, aren't they? Okay, I'm pretty sure the controller is not working. Yeah, because my... Okay. We're going to to restart real quick. I think my controller was not plugged in when I started the emulator. All right, we'll just reset the timer here. No choice. Self off. Oh, okay. There we go. I guess I didn't need to restart the emulator. It's just my controller. Oh, it doesn't matter. Timer's not like super mega precise anyway. Yeah, it just dawned on me that was like the 3rd time it said press A to continue, and I pressed the A button and nothing happened, and I clicked the screen and that worked. And I was like, wait, hang on. I think it's just not registering. But it was now, so. It had to load that little cutscene. I mean, it's probably loaded in the entire level, but the one thing that I can see may become a real problem in this game is the fact that... Oh, wait. It gave us objectives. Okay, I didn't realize I skipped past a little too quick. The checkpoints are pretty few and far between, and when I first got the console game a couple of years ago, that was before Games Bond. Secretly, I bought the game for the purposes of Games Bond, but that wasn't, I didn't make that public at the time. Um, I booted it up on our, on one of those streams of like, hey, I bought some games, let's check them out, and we played through like that prologue level, I think, and there was some point where I died and had to go back pretty far, and I was like, oh boy, this game is going to be a huge pain in the ass. But then when we played it, I mean, it was a huge pain in the ass, but I was not really, there weren't that many instances of being stuck on like the same checkpoint for a long time and not being able to progress. Or when we were, it wasn't just the case of, each attempt taking 15 minutes and then getting thrown back to the same checkpoint. But in this game already, like, yeah, not 15 minutes, but like, through that entire previous stage that was about a half hour long, I think it had like 2 checkpoints in it. Like, the checkpoints are not very frequent. So if the threat level of the enemies, which for the most part has been extremely low in this, it was just like, it was kind of a cheap shot where you get like sniped around a corner with a guy with the rail gun. When we get to those later stages, if it's like the console game where you have vaporizer enemies who can kill you in one shot, like, it might get pretty bad, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll be okay. Yeah, the level so far, like, the level layouts, the mission, like, everything is very faithful to the console game. I reckon it's got to be missing something, because I think there's more than 6 levels in the console game, but there might not be, because there aren't that many, and they're super long, so... Anyway. As is typically the case, we just kind of follow the objective marker and marvel at the incredible music. Yeah, that's right. Select to human shield. I'm hitting the ceiling behind. Okay, sure. AR-4 Commando, let's grab that. This? No. Gauge. So the funny thing is, like, the aiming and the movement, a lot of this actually sort of feels smoother and snappier than the console game. Let's check armor. That's like the only thing you can find. Like, looking around for hidden stuff, like, is usually kind of pointless, because there really isn't anything to collect or find, but you might find armor. So you can see there, like, enemies are tanky, but so am I. I like this, like, it doesn't make really a lot of sense, because in context, in the gun barrel sequence of the Bond movie opening, it's supposed to be a gun barrel. I'm getting stuck. Ugh. There's a weapon here somewhere. But it's kind of cute that when you get into the aiming mode, it looks like the gun barrel. Shot and lost the arm. So your health regenerates, armor doesn't. But when if you like kill enemies efficiently, if you headshot them, they can drop armor. So. But the armor, like, it's weird, because the armor seems to melt pretty quickly, but your health, like, is pretty fine, and the health, again, auto-generates, so... Oh, I accidentally crouched, but that's not a bad thing. Well, I have to touch... You can see my mouse cursor there on the bottom screen. You have to click on the respective, like, weapon box to reload or to pick up or to drop weapons. It's... I mean, I'm sure it works pretty well if you're playing it on a DS. That's part of why the... That means I just dropped the... Okay. You can only hold single hand weapons when you're human shielding. Like, we've got some polygon triangle borders here. Graphically, I think this game is not bad looking, honestly. In some way, it's like more pleasing to look at than the console game. Like a better frame rate, I feel like. Oh yeah, I can X-ray as well. But he's probably too far away. Dude, he's actually doing the revolutionary AI strats of running back and forth. Like, the console game has some, like, patented praise for their amazing AI that essentially boils down to enemies sprint at full speed back and forth. I thought there was armor there somewhere. Everyone's just got shotguns. I have a little bit of this fucking click and play ass music or whatever it is. Oh, so here's the sniper rifle. Press select. You've located the sniper rifle. Is there a Simon Says minigame? You've set up by a trial informant. Escape any. Okay, yep. Whoa, whoa. Trying to. Okay, no, I'm okay. Okay. I don't understand what happened, but we reached a checkpoint, so. Yeah, the shotguns. Weapon. Their health doesn't come back super quickly. Oh my god, I meleeed. Hold this. We'll tap. I wanted the pistol. Weapon I meant to pick up. No, I didn't mean to. Oh my god. There's a T90 here somewhere. I want... Can I not take the ammo from the other one? I guess not. Yeah, that's my armor gone. It's kind of bizarre how the armor just goes away instantly. And then the health just, like, barely affected. But it seems like enemies dropping armor, again, based on the, like, the manual or whatever in the console game, explains, or at least the idea being that, like, you want to be efficient, because if you keep shooting them in their auto ladder... Oh, no, I'm standing on an elevator. I see. I thought I was standing pretty far away from the ladder. The idea is, like, if you keep shooting, if you keep melting their armor, there's not going to be any left for you to pick up. So if you headshot them, they will be able to drop armor. But it's certainly not consistent. The hostage taking stuff is also, like, pretty shit in the other game, because there's, like, an extremely lengthy animation of you... Yeah. Grabbing the dude. But here it's instant, which makes it a lot, like, better. Can I? Okay, I'm just gonna walk straight forward. Oh, select. Okay. Whew. Shotgun's actually probably pretty shit here. Wait, am I not supposed to have, like, the hacking thing here so I can hack some of these panels? No charging the grenade. Can I hit anything? Oh boy. Oh, I can hit that fucking lip, blow myself up. I guess I have to be standing up to grab him. So the standard gun is, like, pretty garbage. Again, I'm referring to the console game, but it seems like to a pretty large degree similar enough that I think most of my sort of assumptions can apply. You can see the sparks that I'm hitting the wall behind him. Trying to... There we go. I don't know why it's like impossible to hit anything. But you can see, like, I'm shockingly in shockingly good health, all things considered. Holy. This is like fairly vast. Oh, can I? Okay. In this game, when I ziplined, I could still hold 2 guns. Does that mean I can still use this? Oh yeah, here's the dragon statues. Yep. Fucking sound effect. The layout looks... I feel like it's a bit different, but... It might be a different weapon. Remember that being... Is it not? Oh, whoops. Didn't realize I was standing on... I wanted to reload, but I was standing on another gun. Okay, so it doesn't actually have a magazine. It's just a single round. Strange, but... The panel, distraction panel, hit the skull to kill stuff. I wanted the sniper rifle. Okay, that kills me pretty quickly. So you'll see, we're gonna get thrown back pretty far here. But we've still made it a significant chunk through the level. Like even that first checkpoint. The dual shotguns here is like kind of shit. Probably pretty shit, period, but... Oh, I died. Alright, so I'm gonna drop one of my shotguns immediately. Because the rate of fire when you have the 2 shot... Like, it would be okay if you could trust... I'm standing in fire, I guess? Okay, I didn't realize I started with this little health. Let's sit here for a minute. If you could reliably take dudes out in a single shot, it might be okay. But that's not really the case. So when you fire the shotgun, there's like a very long delay before you can shoot again. The reload is pretty lengthy. I didn't mean to... The fact that you can't reload when you're standing near a weapon is a little annoying. Got him. Much dead. Sure, the fucking shotgun doesn't seem very good. Grenades probably are useful. On the rooftop, maybe the assault rifle is better. Got the elevator thing here. So this is, I think, the direction in which there's gonna be an open doorway where people are just shooting at us. Yeah, cool. Like, what? He just melted my armor. Wasn't really much I could do about it. Here's the room Never mind. Enemies are just insanely tanky. But you can see, like, you know, it felt like we were thrown back really far, and we kind of were, but at the same time, in terms of how much ground to cover to get back, like, it's not too bad. A headshot, apparently. Actually get... or I cannot. Oop. Happen. Okay. Get some health back. No, I reloaded. I was like, what happened there? You get like auto zoomed out when you reload, which doesn't make sense, but it tends to catch me off guard. So when that gunship appears, I don't think I have a good like strategy. I don't know if I need to be pushing forward. Like in the console game, like you can fight them. Could be armor here. Let me just... The level design doesn't generally seem to be made that way, where there's like clever thing where you look and you find something beneficial. Not infrequently you would get like a rocket launcher, but we could kind of scope out this place a little bit. Well, trying to scope it out, but I can't really see much. I wonder if... we can like, take cover in this gate, or if you want to like advance. Thought this guy was there. We got exploded by the rocket launcher. Yeah, this game might get pretty rough. Like the fact that there's not a checkpoint when you get to that roof, like pretty rough. The level out here, like where the enemies are standing, is weird too. Everything about this game is kind of... The way that ammo is counted in the shotgun is like mega confusing too, because it says there's 4 rounds. Then you shoot 2, and now it says I have 6? We're melted instantly again. Guy here, but he... I don't have any armor for this guy to melt, so... much, I guess. I can try to shotgun him. But yeah, that's the thing, like, a lot of enemies, for the most part, aren't particularly deadly until you suddenly bump into something that just melts you instantly. Like, well, what do you do with that? I guess on the left-hand gun, I didn't really realize, but the right-hand number is the actual ammo count in the gun. So the order of like loaded ammo and reserve ammo is like reversed between the two. semi-normal thing to do. The reticle is like not great either because I mean, it's on the center of the screen. I guess it's a big deal for some people. A lot of people were complaining about the off-center reticle in the console game. But have stuff getting like caught on the scenery. A little annoying. But like it turns red when it's, you know, when the crosshair's overlapping an enemy model, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your bullet's gonna hit. Yeah, like that. It just gets caught on scenery. And you can see like the sparks, gray dust you're hitting shit. But each attempt here doesn't take that many minutes, but enough to be a little annoying. But I gotta be aware, like, I must have gotten kind of lucky that first time. The rocket launcher guy needs to, it's like a priority target. I think I can, like, he's not gonna be there. See, there's like one guy down here. Oh my god, he's like running full speed shooting rockets. Like, I just don't want... Oh, that was the explosion hurting me. Like, I don't want, like, if he fires a rocket and just passes by me into the skybox, that's fine. But when it hits, like, the railing behind me, so I get hurt by the splash damage, that was the real problem. Man, a checkpoint here sure would be nice. Full health. Let me try to, like, push forward. I'm melting. I'm melting. I was melted by something, but it was too far away for the gunshots to be audible. But the gunship kind of caught me off guard. I was trying to crouch to keep a lower profile, but that kind of made me move slower, I guess. I don't think the assault rifle is like the way to go there. Because it doesn't necessarily have the stopping power. Take out the like kind of speed past the dude. Oh my god, how many dudes are there? I thought it was done and there's like 3 more guys. Oh my god, there's... How are there this many guys? I feel like there's more guys than before. I do actually have armor here, so I'm gonna try to see if I can maintain some of it. Well, so much for that. I missed the shotgun shot, so... Pretty stupid. I think it's really this rooftop part that's the stupidest. What's up, Sword Fam? Because even if you have better weapons than this, like... just not really well equipped to have these long-range shootouts. Guy's gonna drop armor when I can't get it. Get anything? Get the weird, like, phantom fucking sparks. I'm trying to melee. Oh, kill him, of course. Like, I guess it's just an effect of accuracy being worse at distances, but yeah, the feedback you get is just weird. Okay, so honestly, having grenades maybe not the worst thing. Just like toss a grenade up on the shelf where the rocket launcher guy is standing. Board fams. Scanning quest continues. Got a sick map. What I do when I've scanned manual stuff, usually I scan like anything that's of interest, whether it's illustrations or sometimes like actual instructions or like a move list or something. And sometimes I've done like, I think Last Bronx on the Saturn came with a fold-out poster, and I tried to get those scanned as well. I don't think, like, in my opinion, seeing as you're not necessarily archiving the manuals cover to cover, I think you should look at what gets you excited, like what's cool shit that you want to preserve and share. It doesn't really matter if it's in a pamphlet or a manual or a map or something, in my opinion. But also, keep it, like, light and fun so you don't get tired of doing it. To the best of your ability, anyway. My advice. So, drop this. Well, let's see if we can handle this. Grenading that guy's like not really gonna work. Alright, that rocket killed my armor. Can I fucking hit this guy? Well, the pistol was not... That wasn't gonna work. Oh. I was... After the last stream, I was, like, excited to... have this... Oh my god! Why do I fucking start in the fire? It's... supremely stupid. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have the second shotgun, but it's tricky to drop it in the fight. Fact of the matter, though, is that the standard gun is absolute dog shit, so... I'm fucking whiffing melee. It feels so random. Yeah, it's like... So, obviously, the reason I was contemplating, like, switching things up wasn't because I wanted the standard gun. It's because I wanted access to the grenades to deal with the rocket launcher guy. I didn't realize what a sacrifice it would truly be to not have any other weapon there. Like, the pistol was just so useless that he got to fire off like 3 more rockets, and I couldn't even kill him. But it was interesting that he's... See? There's like way fewer guys here this time. But if I can bring this guy onto the elevator, that's going to be helpful. See, like, at that range, you still miss. And it's like, well... I'm press the wrong button. Trying to melee, but... Actually... Oh. I was in the middle of a sentence, I think, but I'm like... My armor just... This game makes no sense. Isn't this kind of novel? A full 3D game for the DS? Night Rider on the GBA is pretty novel, but for the DS, I think it's... I mean, Super Mario 64 was a launch game. Like, the DS was perfectly capable of doing 3D. I mean, it's still a reasonably ambitious thing to do, sure. But there's like quite a lot of first-person shooters and similar games on the DS. Not any kind of one-of-a-kind thing. Oops, I clicked outside the window. Okay. It's somewhat infuriating how hard it is to hit stuff, though, and when you do hit... I mean, I guess you can't really tell if you're hitting or not, but enemies take forever to go down. But yeah, so last time I was able to kill the guy on the right, and it wasn't until I killed the guy on the left that Rocket Man spawned. He's literally like... I died. Oh, I emptied the clip and it wasn't enough. So, like, he's literally, as he's spawning, he's running full speed and shooting while running. He doesn't, like, run into position and then take aim and then shoot. Like... He's gonna get a rocket off before he, like, gets into position. That's just, like, basically unavoidable. But it does seem as though he does spawn when you kill the second guy. And I could have held off a little bit if I could sort of kite the other guy around, but that didn't really work out. So annoying the way they just... Yeah, I was praising the game for not having the enemies just run full speed back and forth constantly. But they still kind of do a little bit of full speed running. And it's just a matter of, like, getting into position. Somehow I got a big armor out of that, but... Yeah, this is... Oh, what the... Okay, I just started spinning around for no reason. Okay. Barrel behind him, apparently. So, I have a bunch of armor now, but how much is that really going to help me? I sure... Like... How... ridiculous is that? Did you see how much I shot him? Yeah, and he shot me with a shotgun point blank, so it just destroyed my entire armor. Health and armor in this game is just insane. Like, it's just kind of baffling. Like, inconsistent. Like, it feels like you can't hit anything. But then when you, oh, that was a headshot apparently. All right, let me take a look and see. So many of the guys who shoot are standing on that like 6-inch high ledge here where I cannot get up. I can't grab the armor that they drop or the weapons. The pistol is gonna be mega dog shit. I have a little more ammo, but if I have like reload, I'm kind of screwed anyway. And trying to grenade up to where the rocket guy is standing seemed pretty tricky. Mostly I'm just kind of confused and baffled that we got through this no problem like the first time. And like, forget the gunship, I can't even get that far now. Oh. The screen shakes like fucking crazy when there's an explosion near you also, so you completely lose the aim. Like, all right. I just remembered something. Let's go to the options. Let me remember to walk forward out of the fire. Nice, we don't have to wait. I was holding forward because a checkpoint starts you inside the fire, so you're taking damage. Let's enable auto aim and see if that helps. Like, I cannot believe that I basically emptied like an entire assault rifle magazine at that guy. I'm not saying every bullet hit, but at that range, the way I was aiming, you would expect, you know, at least 4, 5, 6 bullets to hit, which you should think would be enough to, at the very least, stop him from firing rockets at you. It's not very good. I was ready to say that this game was like notably better than the console one on account of being a little simpler and smoother to get through, but that's not really the experience we're having here. No armor. Look, that guy's just alive now. Okay. Someone else is shooting. Down a headshot. No. Aiming just has a mind of its own sometimes. Guess I should just... Well, I couldn't really collect weapons. I shot the barrel and he exploded, but he still could melt 50% of my armor in about half a second. That guy missed. But not before he punched me, taking out the rest of my armor. I don't know how much the auto aim... I mean, it's hard to gauge. I don't know what the auto aim does exactly. Like, the reticle's right on him and it's red. The auto-aim isn't really going to make those bullets hit any better. I wouldn't think. He's just outrunning the bullets there. I would really like to have a shotgun and the P90. But the pistol is trash. The grenades might help me with the guys on the bottom. This is looking real dicey, but I mean, the assault rifle didn't seem super viable either, so... Oh, okay, worked. Oh my god! Okay, died. Really want... What happened to their sniper rifles? Did they fall off the edge? Try running this way. Oh, okay. Where I'm going? Oh my god! Let's get some health back. I wanted to pick up the Jackal, which is their pistols, which is still a pistol, but it's better than... less garbage than this pistol. The question is, I can't see how much health he has. Well, maybe that's the 100 at the top of the screen, actually, because that's not my health. Although I don't know why he would have... I can't pick up this gun as long as I have... Having him on hand should offer a little bit of survivability. Well, I have to drop him now anyway. It still says 100, so that's not it. No, that's right. The number is my eyeball battery. I feel like there should be at least one more checkpoint. Yeah, the enemies flash when they die in this, and they don't do so instantly. It's a big step up from the console game where they instantly slowly fade, which is extremely unsatisfying. Checkpoint reached. All right, we're back in it, boys. We're alive. But yeah, I was thinking about that last time. Like, the fact that the enemies flash is like video gamey and like inherently kind of satisfying. I kind of like that. My armor. That guy just melted my entire armor. Cool, 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 cool. But as long as we don't have to deal with gunships and rocket launchers, like, we're back to reasonable survivability. Weapons, sort of. I realize that there's a guy behind me, but... Oh, I hit him with the other guy. Okay. Back to like slightly more normal kind of tempo. It's so hard to aim the melee attack. Or like it's easy to miss it. somewhere. Shot. Gotta get those, what feels like fairly randomly. My armor. Super good on ammo, so I'm a health come back. But there's probably no more checkpoint for the rest of this level if I have to guess. That's trash because prompt the weapon. This weapon is fun. This part is pretty different. Throw the osprey before attempting to use the zip line. I don't know what the osprey is, but you direct it towards something with some big arrows, I imagine. Is the osprey the gunship? Okay, those are... Oh, yep. Getting close enough, I guess. Can I fucking hit something, please? Thank you, auto aim. Really impressive. Oh, another shotgun. Can't see what I'm picking up, so... Trying to melee. Like, outstrafe it. I don't think the grenades are really gonna work. Okay, it had a lot less health than I imagined. Like, you can take them down. They're not as, like, perhaps threatening as they seem, even in the console game. But I don't think they go down quite that quickly. Enjoy the majestic cityscape of Hong Kong, by the way. Not as fancy as the visuals are gonna get. Go in that direction? I guess not. What are my objectives? Defend the landing zone. I remember that. Sure hope there's going to be another checkpoint, but... Let's see. Fighting like new enemies. Checkpoint reached. Sweet. Game is winning me back. Shot. Nice. The sparks were dudes trying to shoot me from up there. Is there even any point in trying to... I killed either of them. Oh, that guy died. Oh, there's a guy down here. There is, and there's a guy up. I really hate having these, like, open areas when I'm not, like, really equipped to deal with any of this shit. See, these walls, like, when I'm in actual first-person view, or, like, in the zoomed-in view, you can see I'm aiming right at this thing, but here I'm aiming above it. But the actual scoped view is, like, the point of view of the gun, so it's like more truthful to where I'm actually hitting. Kind of weird. I mean, it's good when you actually can see where you're gonna hit, but it's weird that the normal thing doesn't show you that. I guess I can't go through here. Oh, that looks like a tried informant. Do this for a while, I guess. Hope the auto aim's gonna help me. I guess he's got a life bar that was blue and is now red. Like, the guns aren't hit scan, so when he's running, it is legitimately a lot harder to hit him. Oh, I hit him. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is going to be open now. Yes, thank you. Would be nice to have a checkpoint after that, but... Guns strewn about here either. 0 grenades, pea shooter, pistol. Not a good look. Oh, this looks like the place where we have to fight the gunship. Is that on this stage? Sure. That's a rocket launcher. I can't fucking shoot the enemy when he's point blank. But yeah, there's rocket launchers spread out there. We have to do the informer ship, but I think the checkpoint was pretty close. Yeah, it's like this room. Question is, how do I do this slightly more effectively? If I kill a few of these guys, he probably died. Oh, P90, there we go. Then it's gonna spawn the informant. Kind of stupid, but I'm standing on a gun, but I want to save that for the informant. See, from this distance, like, you can see whenever I get hit, like, it's shaving off pixels off the health bar. So it's a little confusing as to, like, what it is that can actually hurt you that quickly. Well, I'm sure shit not gonna get an impressive accuracy score for this stage. Like, am I even capable of hitting them? Yes, probably, maybe. Like, oh, I'm taking damage, but not really all that much. I think some pixels seem to shift around a little bit on his quote-unquote life bar. Incredible game. Do I have... Oh, here or something? Probably not, but if I walk underneath there, at least they won't be able to shoot me as much. Recharge my health a little bit. Thanks for the follow, Dragonfax. Welcome, welcome. What? Oh. To the room. I heard the sound effect, the recharge, then I saw the life bar just stopped. Or close behind me, right? Let's wait here for a sec. So I have grenades, which I didn't last time. That guy has a rocket launcher. I didn't realize the fucking guy on the left had a rocket launcher, and I was kind of standing somewhat cornered. It's so ridiculous. Like, this room... But I remember this being, like, sort of similar in the console game, too, where it's like... They're just not really well-equipped to do shootouts at the distances that the game's asking of you. So you end up in these like absurd back and forth situation of just like awkwardly sniping each other, barely hitting, barely doing damage. Yeah, like with some very slight exceptions, it's not as if much of this game ever seemed better. Health is dropping pretty quickly because I'm getting shot at from both sides. There wasn't really the sense that there were things that were much better about this game. Like, yeah, instantly grabbing guys and stuff like that. That's an improvement for sure. But more so that there was just like kind of less of it. Oh, dog scenery. Back. Is this enjoyable or is it mostly frustrating? It's not very enjoyable. I mean, some parts are fine, but it's just they have so many of these sections where it's like it's designed to bring about that sense of frustration and like making it abundantly clear that you're not equipped to deal with the situation at hand. Like your guns just aren't good enough. I don't feel like it's a skill issue, you know? It's not that I'm not good enough to hit these shots. It's just aiming just haywire sometimes for no obvious reason. Well, I'm out of ammo anyway. Like, what is this? But like, what can I do to like... I mean, he walked closer to me and that was beneficial. Alright, so guy on left has a rocket launcher, so I should toss a grenade towards him kind of instantly. I thought that I was picking up a rocket launcher from the ground. Well, I mean, technically I was, but I thought it was a placed weapon. But what probably, the first time I got there, but what probably happened was I killed a rocket launcher guy and picked up his rocket launcher, not realizing he had a rocket launcher. Music's good? Sure. Hey, I don't know what to kill that guy. Now I'm getting shot at by like 4 enemies. Right now I'm like just pissed off because this room, the first room here after the checkpoint, I have to kill like 4 enemies, but it takes like 5 minutes because you don't get enough ammo for your weapons and it just takes forever to kill dudes. And I'm literally noticing 0 difference with having auto aim enabled. Seems as though, like, once I've killed a certain number of these guys, spawns the informant. Like, I think those blue-gray sparks is me hitting the wall. So I'm like aiming straight at him, the reticle is red, and I'm shooting, but it's just like, that's not hitting? Maybe? Who knows? Alright, this was pretty quick, but we still didn't trigger him showing up. I've never even been out here, because that seems like a bad idea, but maybe there's armor or a gun or something. Like, we were on that one rooftop that had like 6 guns on it, but other than that, like, it's very rare to just see weapons like placed in the level. Not waste it. Die. I don't know if I can hit him through the railing. Dude, every time that happens, I think I'm dying because it's like the perspective shifts, but it's just me dropping to the floor. Or it feels like I'm dropping to the floor, but it's just me zooming out with the gun. I don't know what's going on there with the camera. Oh my life! Look at my health bar. I was gonna say if I can get this close, I should hopefully be able to kill him pretty quickly, but no, just them killing me a lot faster. Dodge some. Oh. This room is so annoying. Dude, how did the grenade end up there? One grenade. So once I get down to that rooftop, there's just like dudes. Yeah, this is the awful part. Like it feels borderline impossible to get here with like any ammo left. I don't know that the enemy is like something's moving around, but like can I actually hit him? The reticle doesn't even turn red. I feel like my bullets are probably not even traveling that far. Maybe I can get a human shield. That guy also had a rocket launcher. I grenaded him, but it was too late. All right. Well, we're not beating this game tonight. That much is for certain. Hope we can beat this level. At some point, I'm getting grenades here in this section because I don't have any on the checkpoint. And I tend to have them when I leave. I don't know if I'm like passing any other enemies on the ground floor here. I don't know where the grenades can come from. Maybe there are... although I do remember that being a thing in the console game too. Like, always being confused as to when and why my grenades were getting replenished. Because there's like no feedback that it's happening. You just kind of notice that like, huh, I have grenades now. Trying to snipe that guy. Not really worth trying to shooting him when he's running, because oh, pretty quick. Now I have 5 grenades that I got from somewhere. I don't think that first guy... Yeah, he doesn't have a rocket launcher. Where am I being shot at from? I'm like far away enough that I'm not quite being melted. See, like when it goes well and goes fast, like it doesn't feel that bad, but like you don't know, like if this was the only attempt you saw, you would have no perspective on how like fickle and fragile the whole situation is. Detonator. Like a little rocket launcher pistol thing. Okay, I thought I was... Oh, okay. Got it. That was a Mark II rocket thing. You know what? I'm gonna piece the fuck out of here. Checkpoint reached. All right, more concrete. Observation deck. Time for some Simon Says. Okay, we're getting closer to the end here. Man, when we were first stuck on that checkpoint, when we spawned in the fire, I was thinking, I don't think I said it, but I was like, man, we haven't really gone too far for me to say, you know what, maybe we should just start over on easy difficulty. Because I reckon you set the difficulty on your profile. It doesn't seem like you can change it. Like, we could start over and do the first 2 stages on easy to get through them pretty quickly. But now that we've gotten this far, the idea of redoing this, even if it's on easy, like, ooh. So, I don't know. But if this is like the console game, it really does feel like there are pretty specific difficulty spikes. I don't know if it's gonna, like, be steadily escalating. We'll see. We'll see. Now, I'm not purely committing to beating the game. Like, if at some point we just say fuck it and give up, that's an option. Maybe there are cheat codes. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm feeling a lot less confident about how smooth of an experience this is going to be. Exciting gameplay here. On my way, clear out the landing zone. Oh, we have a timer. So the question is this how long I need to survive? Or, like, do I need to hold out for 2 minutes? Or are you gonna show up in 2 minutes? Or do I have to, like, actually kill everyone if I haven't killed them? I'm not sure what the time limit is supposed to represent exactly. Super thrilled to deal with this shit, but ah! Fuck, I was gonna say, let me find some place to get some health back. Oh no, I just realized we have to do the fucking Simon Says every time we load now. Wouldn't be a Bond game? Wasn't a bit rough around the edges? I mean, there's rough around the edges, and then there's whatever this nonsense is. Like, it manages to have these checkpoints that are right before, like, annoying stuff. I mean, I guess this was right after some annoying stuff too, so... But I think we'll start to get a better idea of what to expect here. We're meant to advance here. This game makes some use for an annoying achievement set. I don't know that it's going to make it any more or less fun. I don't know if it would make me feel accomplished. I'm hitting anything there. Maybe I have grenade. Well, I don't have any grenade. Again, I'm not exactly sure do here? Oh, I'm getting melted now all of a sudden. Oh, kill the thing. Seconds. I think it's just pointed to this thing. Maybe we're going... I think I just... Well... I'm probably gonna fail. Is it? No? Okay. Oh, maybe... I think that triggered when that guy just died. Dr. No has escaped. Return to the lab for further instructions. Oh. Yeah, so I think I had to kill every enemy before the time was up, and we were getting pretty close there. Whew. A good set can make a bad game better. Not saying this game's bad. The thing is, anything I can think of that you can like set out to achieve in this game, you know, it has like the rogue bonus stuff. You can get like headshots, you can do explosion kills and whatever else, but like most of the things you could do, most of the things the game tracks, most of the things the game sort of offers you as a thing to attempt to do are extremely annoying to try to do, because it's like either the game doesn't give you the circumstances to allow you to do it, or like the headshot thing, it's a complete dice roll whether the headshot counts as a headshot. So like if you were setting out to try to get, you know, get X amount of explosion kills in a level, like, I mean, I guess that one is one of the more reliable ones, but a lot of the other ones are kind of like, does it even count? I don't know. So it wouldn't make it fun to try to do it, because it would just not be reliable. So I can't see how having achievements on top of whatever this game is asking us to do would really make it any more fun. I could be wrong, but I can't really see it. Yes, I would very much like to save my progress. Oh, I'm going to pause the timer there. So that was a 1 hour, 15-minute level, more or less. I hope that this was a little bit of an outlier. Because all of it is so, like, you're so at the mercy of how the weapons are spawning and everything. And it truly was like, just, if you count the number of actual choke points, there weren't that many of them. And to a degree, it seems like trying to push forward and being aggressive is not a terrible strategy. Like, it kind of got us through a few things. Like, even that, the last sort of part we got stuck on with the rocket launcher guys and the gunship, the time I did well is when I was kind of rushing. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. But we'll see. Hopefully, because like the first level had one choke point with the kind of stupid cheap shot enemies with the mag rails. But I don't know. I don't remember the console game really feeling like it had a like constantly escalating level of difficulty. Like, it was pretty uneven. But it's hard to remember because the main obstacle of that game, as I remember it, wasn't really... Like, there were individual difficulty spikes for sure, like really awkward, weird sequences that, like, you try them 6 times and then the 7th time, just get through it. Like I said, again, with the guys, the armored guys in the gunship, like, the one time I did it, it doesn't look difficult. Like, you just... I mean, I don't even know what I did that different. I don't know why I got through there kind of unscathed that time. So what I'm saying is, or what I'm hoping, is that subsequent levels are only going to continue to have like a small number of choke points. It's just a matter of how annoying and frustrating are those individual choke points, and where are they in relation to checkpoints. That's going to have a large influence on how kind of unfun it is on the whole. But we cleared one more level, and I mean, according to our save file, it said 42% after the previous stage. So it could be. I don't know how it counts it, but if that prologue level is part of the number counts, the mission count, whatever, like, then we have cleared 3 missions. We've cleared 3 levels. So that could be half the game. Although this level felt a lot more substantial, like, not just in that it was harder, but I think the previous stage had like 2 checkpoints, and this one had like 5. So hopefully the levels don't keep getting too much longer. However, right now I need a break. I need to cool off a little bit. So let's get some rest, and I'll be back shortly. Whew. All right. I returned. I have replenished my beverage. And I have come to a horrifying realization, is that I am pretty sure I would feel confident in guessing, at least, that the game probably does not save in any way mid-mission. Meaning, if we start a new level, we're going to want to finish it. I mean, I guess there are save states, but that would be... I wouldn't... Well, I was going to say that wouldn't be fun, but clearly having fun isn't really the objective here. Well, I'd like to avoid that. I'd want to play things intended. Well, I mean, the game offers you the option to save after the mission, so I wouldn't assume. Which, man, I even said that last time, right? After the intro level was like 15 minutes, the first like real level was like half an hour. Well, I mean, we cleared both of them in 4 to 5 minutes, so even fucking around in menus and whatever, it would mean they were even less. But even then, like, for portable, having to play, I mean, you can like suspend it and everything, sure, but still, not saving. I mean, I don't know for a fact that it's not saving, but because it actually asks you if you want to save after completing the mission, it would be really weird if it auto-saved without asking you mid-mission. Well, I'm not judging anyone for using save states. It's entirely up to anyone how they prefer to play games. Certainly, I'm not going on this entire journey for the purposes of bragging about my gaming prowess or anything like that. In this case, it would just be a matter of convenience of being able to pick up where we left off. But I still, because my purpose of this isn't to beat the games and you know, for bragging rights, my purpose isn't necessarily to have fun either. It is, you know, kind of an academic exercise of seeing what these games are and what they're like. And I mean, if I could play this on an actual DS and stream it, I would prefer to do that. This is still a compromised experience because it's not really reflective of how the game was designed to be played. But I do feel that using save states and stuff, like, it's not a matter of it being cheating, but it is sort of, it turns the experience into something else. Like, I'm not saying you need the added pressure of the risk of failure or whatever it is. Like, it's just that is a component in the original experience as designed. And if I'm like circumventing some of that, I end up altering the experience. And that's basically why I would for the most part not even really contemplate doing it. I mean, I could, if we reach a point where and we certainly have multiple times in the past, like if I reach a point where I feel like the sanctity of the game experience is no longer paramount, there's any number of things we could do to help ease the pain of getting through it, whether it's save states, cheat codes, save files, watching a let's play or whatever. And, you know, we've used trainers for the old computer games and stuff too. It's not like I refuse to do it, but it's like, I don't want, like, once you open that can of worms, it's like, not the right expression, whatever. Let the cat out of the bag, whatever. You can't rebag it. It becomes a weird slippery slope too if you kind of get in the habit of doing that. Well, I shouldn't say you, if I do it. So it's not really on the table now, but in any case, let's do less yapping and keep playing, because I want to get through one more level before we're done tonight. Continue campaign. Oh yeah, low times. Is this the level with the drill? Because I think this is the next level, is probably when Dr. No is actually stealing the almond. big thing and then like a vault. Yeah. Safeguard the omen against Dr. No. I have moved it to my most secure vault, beneath my casino in Las Vegas. However, my agents have already spotted the treacherous Xenia Onatop. We're there for only one reason, to steal the omen. Protect the omen at all costs. So the omen is the disintegrator mega weapon of mass destruction that Goldfinger, I guess, owns. But Dr. No has defected from his organization to steal it. Yeah, so this is like the end of the level that we're seeing right here. There's a thing at the end. I remember that particular part being kind of a... This section right here, you have to like activate a bunch of switches to open up the vault. And there's a bunch of like armored mini-boss type enemies you have to deal with. Turrets. You definitely have the hacking shit by the time you get here, because you need to like hack the turrets. But I'm pretty sure we even had the hacking on the Hong Kong stage. But maybe I'm misremembering, because there's like you use the switches to activate the fire-breathing dragons on some thing. I might be mixing that up. There's another stage probably with the rooftop with the panels you can open and close. I don't know. The hacking ability is so... It's used very rarely. Yeah, the I guess we're watching security footage or something, and there's just stuttering scan lines of some kind. I don't know what's going on. It's pretty obnoxious to look at. It might be a little less so on a DS, but that's doubtful. But it could very well be that when I press the A button and then Scaramanga just interjects with another power. I think that's kind of how it went last time. There was a cool little cutscene in the opening credits, with some cool graphics, like very Amiga-esque pixel art of the full screen eyeball and everything. But we didn't get like any cool visuals for when we got the new abilities. That was just like a screen of text. But yeah, when you get to this very part of the end, inside the vault, there's like a thing where you had to hold off like endless enemies for a set amount of time that I remember being quite... Like, you have to do that, and then Oddjob shows up. Like, you're holding off the enemy before, like, while they're securing the omen, or I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Minus Casino. Reach the casino's main floor, reach the vault entrance, protect omen device. Yeah, so there's a beginning of the level where there's an actual casino. You wouldn't know from the footage that we're in a casino, but this is like the underground vault section at the end of the stage. So for some reason, you start at the fucking rooftop, which is kind of explained. There's like the cutscene stuff that explains a little bit more of the premise for each level is basically omitted here. There's still not a lot of connective tissue in the console game, but a little bit more than here. So it's a very odd thing where for some reason, to get to the basement, we have to start at the roof or some shit. Because there's a lengthy section where you're like sitting in an elevator going down really far. And then you get to like the underground section. So we get a brief interlude of casino before we go back to the gray hallways. As I recall, the Xenia Onatop encounter is like right at the beginning of the stage too. Yeah, still no other ability. I'm trying to melee. Okay. Oh, hello. Look quite... I mean, it looks like a little similar, but the layout's different. I remember there's this room where you have to, like, awkwardly go around some weird way. A little bit simplified here, I guess. Music, too. Midas, I guess it's... I was trying to see if there's, like, something clever about these things, but whatever they are, they're probably just, like, sort of chunky, low-res versions of whatever was in the console game. I don't know what the music is trying to do here, but is it I don't understand the ammo count for the shotgun. It's very confusing. This is the section that's like leading to the elevator? Dude, my armor. Headshot, okay. Like my reticle is sort of trained on their, like it's head height, but still getting the actual headshot bonus is pretty rare. Oh yeah, so I do have the X-ray vision here, by the way, but like not all that useful. I mean, it makes more sense to use it when you've got the mag rail that shoots through walls. Oh my god. They've adapted. Was probably better than the pistol, but surely there's some other weapons here. I mean, there's some elevators here, so yeah, we're probably getting into this one. Yep. Dude, did you guys see my armor there? Like the door had barely opened, my armor just went down like that. That's pretty funny. That's a sniper rifle. So in this section in the console game, I remember just sort of crouching in the elevator, hanging back, trying not to get shot. Just kind of waiting the sequence out. I want to say that getting to this point, again, like, it's similar, but each, like, the general progression of the levels is, like, largely the same. But the time between, like, getting from one sort of section of the stage to the next is, like, so much shorter. And this doesn't seem worthwhile. Like, even if I'm taking damage here, like, how fucking worth it is it to try to do this? Seems totally pointless. Be hiding behind this? No. Oh, checkpoint. Being able to whiff melee attack like that feels so horrible. It's funny that a lot of the other things, like grabbing dudes, is like kind of instant here. But the actual melee attack is like really slow. So stupid. Like 2.5 full, well, 2.5 full clips. 2 full clips and a half one. I probably do want to keep the grenades. Like your melee attack is super slow. Having it come out or not, like when you do or don't expect it, that's not really much of an issue. Like when you're in close range, you do a melee attack. Like that's pretty consistent. But you can see I'm like aiming to the right of the guy, and it still makes the melee attack come out. And I'm just whiffing. And it's because it's like kind of slow, it's like hard to get a second melee attack out. We still haven't reached the main floor. I don't have a grenade. I thought I had a grenade. I'm like grabbing armor. Not where we were going. There's more armor there. Dual melee. Okay. We're going through that door? Guess so. Thank God for the objective arrow. Yeah, I think this is the part that leads... Like, there's a thing that collapses in, like, the ceiling, or maybe there's, like, the... Shredder's, like, tunnel or thing from the 89 Turtles arcade game. Like a set piece thing. I'm not sure if it's happening in this room, but... Can't grab a weapon while I have this guy, but... Problem for too long. Oh, I saw a guy, but because there's like actual detail in the environment here, and not just always. But we're oh my god! Like, enemies just like spawn out of nowhere. So those three guys did like 4 pixels of health, but sometimes there's one guy who just melts your entire armor in half a second. Music kind of grating. I mean, it's not terrific, is it? See, this would be an excellent place to have a checkpoint, wouldn't you think? Still mysteriously have not gotten any other grenades. I think there's one more guy there somewhere. Or armor. Really makes you feel like you're on a Bond adventure, yeah. Who needs a John Barry score when we can have music like this? Oh, what the fuck? The guy has 2 life bars. He had a blue life bar and then a red life bar. Armor and health? Oh, let's for some of our health. Come back. I want to say that by this point in the normal game, the normal console game, you have the armor up, because I remember using the armor, or like the shield on this level, but I could be misremembering. So I guess that's the equivalent of the guys who have like a name above their heads, who are like kind of mini boss dudes I was mentioning before. Just guys with a life bar here. I could actually kind of feel the auto aim doing something there. Oh, that guy didn't die. This gun reloads a lot faster than in the console game. Let's have the wind up. Like, the armor is simultaneously like extremely important, but also like so inconsequential. Kind of weird. Yeah, see? Like, well, I'm glad I had the armor for that, but does it make much difference? It's like there's some kind of scaling happening with damage over like distance to your health, It doesn't seem like it applies to the armor. All the guns in this are so shit. Like, I guess I'm mostly missing, but... And so... Like, even point blank, it's not like you're taking enemies down in a single shot. Oh, he was just reloading or something, I guess. I think I got him. I don't have any grenades, so I guess I might as well go with this. Eyes are, like... watering. I'm staring so intensely at this. Oh. But it feels like we are a pretty good chunk all the way through the level. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'm misremembering where the Onatop thing happened. Okay, well, screw those guys. So. Going through here. Oh. Classic. Getting mission briefings while getting shot at, so you can't fucking take in any of it. Oop. Good shot. Yeah, this is the drilling thing I was talking about. Dude, they're using the advanced strats. I can't walk over this debris, so I have to, like, walk around. And drop into this pit. So I think we... Never mind. I thought when that text came up, it was like an objective thing. Or on ammo, I'm sure. I didn't realize I swapped weapons. I don't know how that happened. This is preposterous. Like a vault door. Oh, we're actually at full armor. How about that? Checkpoint reached. Oh, a better weapon. Thing in this hand, so I might as well grab. Yeah. Oh. Look at my armor. Instantly. Yeah, this is like the end of the level. Like, we're not done. There's a significant chunk left. But, yeah, this looks a little different for sure. Oh, I fucking mean to grab the jackal, but... Are we gonna have to do, like, 4 different Simon Says to... Dude, nice spawn. Well, we got these guys at least. So bad. So yeah, there's like... You have to do these to unlock like each of the vault doors or whatever. So this is gonna unlock the next section in that center, like, circle. I think there's like 4 sections like this, the original at least. And then you get access to the final room. And in that game as well, there's no checkpoint after this. But here, there was no checkpoint before, like, we have to go through the tunnels, I think. I don't remember where the checkpoint was. No, because it was right after we came out of the tunnels. Yeah, so it's like this whole section. In the console game, there's like these turrets that are gonna fucking melt you in a second, but you can hack them. But we don't have a hacking ability, so hopefully there's no hacking. I hope there's no turrets. I fucking see you. Didn't really help me, did it? These rooms definitely look a bit different, but the layout is quite similar. I didn't mean to, I wanted to reload this, but I was accidentally standing on a gun, so I picked it up instead. Just him. Okay. Auto aim seems a little bit questionable. But it didn't really do much damage to me. My health will come back while I do this. So far, this section is actually a lot more chill than in the console game. Because I was having a lot of trouble with this part. But yeah, doing 2 more of these rooms and then the final, like, fence bit, like, I don't know what they were, like, was there some technical reasoning behind the checkpoints being so, like, awfully infrequent? I feel like by 2004, 2005, like, again, even setting aside what I was saying about a portable game, it being weird to have, like, these long stretches, because you would kind of, you expect a portable game to be designed for you to be able to kind of put it down at a moment's notice without, like, having big issues. But even in a console game, I don't know. I guess it wasn't unusual, like, I remember when God of War came out, I was playing that, and that would have been in 05. I remember that game feeling kind of remarkable for being so generous. I was targeting an enemy through the wall here somewhere. I have X-ray vision, but it's not, it doesn't work very well. So, I mean, I guess for that to have been noteworthy, that would have been some ways outside the norm. But even so, I don't know. Pretty annoying. But I will say again, for this section, it's tedious. But it's not difficult, at least. Or, like, the game's giving me the resources I need. Main vault's open. Okay. I thought there was one more room. Maybe it was just 3? Or maybe this was the 4th and I've already lost count. Checkpoint would be nice, but we'll see how this final section plays out. Yeah. Isn't Goldfinger's new cowboy. Thank you for unlocking the vault. Now the omen is ours. Get him! I'm being shot at from, like, this distance, maybe. Okay, but then again, if this gun runs out, I'm a bit fucked. Yeah. Walking around in the middle of the room, probably not great. So, there's the problematic thing here. But we got to the very end of the level. in felt like, I don't know, half an hour or so. Starting here with the pistol is a bit rough though, but at least I have armor in the checkpoint. It's gonna like keep me alive long enough to get into this. But yeah, we get the decent weapon here from these guys, and there's enough enemies with guns we can grab. Taking a sweet time reloading there. I'm just like, I can only laugh. Like, the armor is bizarre. Get some other weapon. Wasn't there an AR? Yeah. Nope. I have to let go of my aiming to control the mouse for the touchscreen. So it becomes a little awkward. Yeah. Like, doing this is... But yeah, in the final room, that was like, this is exactly like the console game in that that final room is challenging and a little confusing and overwhelming. But you have to get through this first before you can even make another attempt at figuring out a good strat for it. So I think, I don't know, I was speculating that like having the distance there is like maybe a good thing. Like people can't hurt us too badly, but if they're shooting at us from multiple directions, you do take damage. But I think like, especially towards the end there, I was kind of standing in the middle of the room, which is probably literally the worst place to be. If I'm close to enemies, I can maybe take them out a little quicker. But I think this weapon is not good for that section, probably. Because again, there's this like wind up for when you're shooting. Like it's great for these mid-boss guys, but like that. Very nice. You kind of get the health back here and everything, but I'm gonna grab something else. Kind of hope that we have grenades. I'm amazed that I've never failed one of those. I feel like that's bound to happen. At least one more room. But, I mean, hey, there's no turrets here at least. So these parts could have been a lot worse. Farcical. The way the armor works out. So if these guns are going to still be on the ground here, there's at least some stuff here for me to pick up. Just something, yeah, good armor there. Something about the soundscape of this game that just adds to this kind of maddening feeling. Didn't mean to do that. Wanted to reload, but at least I had at least one grenade. Yeah, so this is the last guy because he doesn't even have this gun. Okay, I have 2 grenades. Main vault open. Protect the omen. So let's try it with this gun. I guess we can have a second one, and we can use that until it runs out, and then allow grenades. This door shuts behind us, but maybe we could stay here. Maybe that's like us at least. We're visible from like these windows, but there's nothing immediately behind us. There's not a timer or something. This seems safer than whatever I was doing before, at least. It's like taking a step out. Like there's something that's like triggering the spawns. But if this is like letting me at least get my health back. I saw movement. Oh, it's her. Shit, I wasn't expecting that. Supposed to fight her? I don't have any other guns here. Doesn't have like a life bar or anything. This does not play out this way in the other game, by the way. Wait, there's another body there. Okay. But being able to stay here and essentially be safe. Good. I think I was being shot through that very window. Yeah. Like, I'm not exactly clear on what the objective is. If I'm staying alive, that's, like, good enough. I don't have to, like, interact with that or anything. Every time I get, like, caught on senior there, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Peel up. I just remember there's something with Oddjob at the end here. Not like you fight him or anything, but like he shows up. Like there's something like grabbing the Omen, and he's like, because Onatop is in this level, but you don't fight her here. You fight her much earlier in the level, in the console game, as I recall. Mission complete. Set timer on the Omen and escape. Okay, I thought I was supposed to do something. Oh, the Omen was activated there, I guess. The Omen has been successfully detonated, eliminating the soldiers who had infiltrated the casino. Get back to the lair. We've learned location of Dr. No's hidden fortress on Crab Key. It's time for us to pay the good doctor a visit. Wow, okay, so I think we're skipping like half the game. I think what just happened there is we climbed the rope. Oddjob was nowhere to be seen, but they detonated the Omen with Onatop in the room. She clearly seemed kind of invincible when I was shooting at her. We just needed to take down X number of thugs. So she's dead now, I guess. But yeah, after this, there's a whole thing where you um, go to this Atlantis underground black arms market to like purchase information to figure out how to get to Crab Key. But it's not like Crab Key is the level immediately following that either, because there's the whole Hoover Dam thing, which is where you fight Zenyatta again, which was, yeah, my favorite level, yeah, the octopus. I mean, I guess this game is all favorite levels. That was a lot smoother. Yeah, that was about 40 minutes. Actually, not even. No, about 40 minutes, I guess. But there's gotta, yeah, so I guess there's 2 levels left then, probably. Sounds like the next level will be the final one, but seems as though we might have 6 levels, including the prologue. So we've done the prologue, which is Fort Knox. We've done Arc Industries. We've done the Hong Kong level and the casino. So that's 4. I don't remember the exact sequence or what the levels are exactly, but obviously we're supposed to go find Dr. No, so it's like not the end, but I want to save. Yes, I would like to save. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to the main menu. This is horrifying to look at right now, but we did just save. I'm gonna look at my save file and see what it says. 71%. It said 42% after the first real level. Like, how do they count the percentages? Because two much longer levels, so like the 2 shortest levels accounted for 40% or 42%, and the next 2 significantly longer levels counted for 19%. The percentages are baffling, but I guess that sounds like there's 2 levels left. So 2 levels per stream, pretty good progress here. We're not going to start a whole new level after this. I'm a little rogued out at this point. But yeah, this game is continuing to shock and amaze. We get to see this again to try to parse what even is happening. So that's, I guess, the first-person perspective of us climbing the rope. I thought it was just like a cool camera move, but I guess that was us escaping. So the Omen was detonated, but we're just leaving it there? So Dr. No didn't actually get it, I guess. But what's even crazier is that, like, at this point, up to this point, this has been following the console game quite closely. Except we haven't been getting, like, we're at least 1 ability behind, but I think we're 2 abilities behind, because I think you get basically you get 1 power per level. Like for Orc Industries, you get the X-ray vision. Then for Hong Kong, you get the hacking, I believe. And then for the casino, you get the shield. And then maybe it's 1 level without getting anything, and then for the level after that, you get the whatever you call it, the psyops, throwing enemies around, telekinesis. But now we're at the point where, like, if we're skipping levels especially, by this point we should definitely have all 4 abilities, but in this game we only have 1. So surely we should get something now at least. So let's just find out. Pretty fun, you can choose main menu immediately after loading and just watching that. It's weird that it loads you back into the end of the previous level instead of the beginning of the next one. Dr. No is aware we know his location, so I cannot deploy the Omen on Crab Key and risk making it a target. Instead, you must infiltrate the island and find your way to the central compound. I mean, bluish hallways, I guess. Like, this looks vaguely familiar. This is the final boss. Well, it's the showdown with Dr. No, but that's not the final level. That's not the... Dr. No isn't the final boss, so that makes sense. But I think... Oh, now I'm confused. Spoiler alert, turns out that Goldfinger is a bad guy. So this right here, you have to hack those control panels to, like, disable them so you can lightning bolt Dr. No. I remember that being like a fairly neat sort of puzzle boss. But yeah, as it turns out, there's like this whole thing afterwards. There's like actually a genuinely cool scene in the game, believe it or not, where Goldfinger does like a villainous speech. But you defeat him in like a cutscene. There's no actual fight at the end, which I remember being a huge relief. But I think here's where I'm getting tripped up. In my memory, it's like, is the final level after Dr. No a tiny small thing like the opening level, or did I just want it to be that? So in my memory, it is that, despite it not being that at all. And I think it's kind of the latter. I think it is a full long level after that. So we have like 2 full levels left. But the actual showdown with Goldfinger at the end of the final level is like a cutscene, which I remember being very welcome. I was like so relieved to not have to like do another tedious boss fight. So I think that checks out. So those are the 2 levels that are left. I think this is the level... Is this the one that had like 48 boardrooms that you go through? It's really... The cutscene here is only showing the like the very end of the level. Well, I mean... The nuclear... Like, oh, there's a nuclear reactor? I guess so. Oh, okay. This is vaguely familiar. Music. Yeah, the levels just like mega blend together. Wow, he's not even falling down. Okay, that's weak. I mean, we got some Caribbean rhythm here. That's pretty sweet. Hidden shotgun. They couldn't muster some kind of fog or something. It's just literally polygon just ends there. Not even a skybox, it's a flat color. I cannot, like... I can't help wonder if, like... Was I supposed to do something to, like, earn abilities in the game? There's 4 ability icons. Do I have to, like, get a good enough rogue score to gain abilities? Because we're not, like, we can't replay levels or anything. Because, like, in the other game, too, there's parts where you legitimately, like, you have to hack. That's how you, like, get across. Like, you have to lower bridges or whatever. Maybe not here, but, like, that's a thing. Like, hacking that panel over there. Gonna be hard if I had, like, I don't know, maybe we're soft blocks. Maybe I need to have the hacking and I just didn't earn it. Maybe I need to just snipe it with the longbow that was on the ground. Obviously, I'm not, like, I don't care now because we're not gonna be playing, but it's a little research. But yeah, this area is, like, a little bit vaguely familiar. It's cool, though, because, like, the different sort of, I guess biome isn't exactly the right word for it, but the sort of different environments that you go through in each level it's kind of more noticeable here when you don't spend like 40 minutes in each of them. You kind of move on pretty quickly. But I do remember there's a thing, just realized there was a like gravel pit construction site area in some level. Isn't a thing here, I suppose. Well, we'll consider this a little bit of research. Can I shoot this thing? No hacking, just shooting. Of course, I cross the bridge and then instantly there's dudes on this side. Guy looks like he might have had a rocket launcher, because I was just about to say, we haven't had to deal with... Like, there was just that one section in Hong Kong with the rocket launcher guy that was horrifyingly annoying to get through. Also, it was pretty nice I could snipe that guy. Before, like, I was kind of outside of his range. Oh, okay. This... Kind of sucks that I don't have any on-screen reticle. I didn't even realize that was going on. Ooh, mag rail. Haven't had one of those in a while. Like, you have to zoom in to have a crosshair with the sniper rifle. I mean, I guess there's auto aim, right? Yeah. This is where the auto aim is earning its keep for sure. I guess we're just playing now, but we're definitely not playing through this entire level, so... I just realized I kind of recognize this layout, too. See, like, we had this outdoor dock area, and we're already in a different, like, sort of warehouse area. Like, when you don't stay in the same area forever, like, the stages actually kind of feel visually varied. Like, whatever variety they managed to achieve in the original, like, it's just kind of wasted. Because you spend so long in the same environment that by the time it switches it up, that novelty lasts for like 30 seconds, 90 seconds maybe. And then you spend another 20 minutes in identical rooms eating forever. Oh, there's like a... Well, I guess we got a checkpoint. Mining complex. So that is this level. This is the level with the gravel pits and the stuff. I kind of remember this level being really long in the console game. But the casino level was like... I mean, every level has been shorter here, but the casino level felt pretty brisk. So who knows? We're already probably getting pretty close to the first one. But yeah, there's no way this is gonna, like... I just want to kind of see what happens here. Surely it's gonna still show us the end of the casino level. Do I want to know how to unlock powers? Just figured it out. I mean, apparently it's a thing that you have to do. Sure. Let me know. You gotta beat virtual training. All of them. That is bizarre. So we still, like, it's weird that we... No, we're in the... Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so we unlock, like, some of them. Earth, would they do it that way? So, yeah, okay. This is totally different from the virtual training that's available in the main menu. Now we're in the fucking Wild West. Caribbean Wild West, I guess, judging from the music. Oh, there's Dr. No, who just golden gunned me, I guess. Okay. Wow, cool. Well, we're not fucking doing that, are we? So, I mean, I can look it up, but if you already did, I might as well just ask. When you say you gotta beat all of the virtual training, do you mean you have to beat all of them to unlock all of the powers, or do you not get anything until you beat all of them? Because if there's like one we can do to get the shield, for example, that would probably be worth it. But I'd be curious how that works. I mean, I kind of don't want to spend any more time with this game than necessary, but... So I'm like not... held to explore all it has to offer. 1 per power, training 1, 3, and 5 respectively. So I assume 3 is the shield then, if the order is the same as in the console game. Because you get, after the X-ray, you get the hacking, and then the shield, and then the telekinesis. It's kind of, well, let's explore it again, because it doesn't... Okay, so 1 was the one we played, okay. There's no instruction or nothing, there's just time and score. So I guess if we die once, we fail. Oh, hang on. So now I have hacking. Maybe I don't have to beat them. Maybe I just have to play it once. I just... See, I have hacking. Or maybe it's specific to this virtual mission that I have hacking. Test fire rocket. What if I just have to try... Oh, I just got a score. Okay. Do I have to fucking read the manual to learn what the mission is? Kind of strange. The counter, the clock's ticking down. Like, it could be that in this training mission, I just have... Are these gold fingers with a chain gun? I think so. I couldn't melee. Oh. I guess they're virtual gold fingers, so they phase out. It's like kind of a cool effect, but maybe the test rocket killed a virtual Goldfinger or something. I got points for those kills too. Leading back to the main room. 19 seconds left. Bond holodeck, yeah. Well, Goldfinger holodeck, really. The MI6 holodeck is for, like, where Moneypenny has virtual sex with James Bond or whatever. Well, we got an Amiga eyeball. Your latest upgrade is designed to generate a magnetic polarity shield capable of deflecting all damage for a short period of time. Operating the magnetic shield consumes energy, which increases significantly when the shield is taken, blah, 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 blah. We have a shield. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm very glad we investigated that, because that's going to make the next stream a lot smoother. Hopefully we take those, yeah. I'm still entirely confused as to what the virtual training mission was, but we killed a couple of Goldfingers and we got the good power. So that would imply that we didn't actually get the hacking. It's just like, if you play Virtual Mission 3, you have the hacking ability in that virtual mission, because it kind of assumes that you did it, maybe, or it's just like it's designed that way. So regardless of the order you do them in, you just have the sort of appropriate ones for that mission. Or maybe we have all 3 now. I don't know. But we have the shield. We saved. I'm happy with that. BT1 is killing 5 Scaramangas with golden guns. So it's about being careful. That makes sense. It looked like Dr. No because he had the white suit. But I guess it's not that easy to... I couldn't really tell that Goldfinger was Goldfinger. He had a brown suit. Up close, like, okay, sure. But it's so silly. I mean, that's fine. Silly isn't the problem when it comes to James Bond, much less James Bond video games. Whole game. Man, this game. But I'm very happy we could end on a more positive note, because we have that ability, which is going to certainly not make anything more difficult. I'm not greatly looking forward to fiddling with using the ability constantly, but we have the option, which is going to help. But still, we cleared 2 more levels. 71% done. Especially with the shield ability. I say we have a pretty good shot at beating the game next stream. Pause the timer there, though. So 3 hours in to do what we've done so far, that's... Actually, I wonder if the percentage goes up now. Let's check that out. Nope. Clearing virtual missions to unlock abilities does not account for any kind of completion percentage. It's so funny, like, why even have a percentage when it can only be like 5 different states? Stupid. But yeah, we're in a pretty good spot to beat this game, hopefully, on Wednesday's stream. So I mentioned this briefly at the top. You know what? Do that. And go here instead. I have some plans. So for Wednesday's stream, we will come back to this. Hopefully, I won't be feeling too out of it. Like, hopefully, we can just kind of get back to it and finish this up on Wednesday. But after that, for Saturday's stream, I have a little bit of a different plan. So, some of you may be aware, I'm sure I must have mentioned this at least. Back in spring, the real kind of launch pad for like getting into the proper development phase of World of Jiggy happened on not over a weekend, but we had at work these kind of I don't know what you call them exactly, but special days where we kind of get to work on personal projects for the purposes of like developing skills and that kind of thing. And I thought it worthwhile to do some practice and getting my feet wet in Unreal development. So I used that as an opportunity to spend some time with World of Jiggy proper. Having previously planned out a lot of stuff that I wanted to do for months, and doing a little bit of graphics, but not really doing any development in earnest. So I spent 2 days at work kind of creating the campfire scene and starting on a few other things. And as it happens, this Friday and the following Monday, we're doing the same thing again at work, and I have decided that I will be spending that time again to continue working on World of Jiggy. So I had intended to get back to development over the summer to add some new content and features, but a lot of other things got in the way, and I just kind of put it on the back burner. So much like last time, this is the perfect timing to like find focused time to just work on that. And what happened last time was when I did that, it got me a fair bit of momentum to keep working on it in my own time. So this time, I hope that will happen as well. But in addition, I want to try to carry that momentum through the weekend, and my plan is to do a World of Jiggy development stream on Saturday. So I'll be spending basically all day at work on Friday doing stuff for it, which now that I think of it, I realize there's a few things I want to try to look up before then, but neither here nor there. And then I want to stream whatever I will be working on. Maybe we'll see. I have an idea. I have 2 different chat interactive mini games that I want to make, and both of them have like different levels where I can kind of build a foundation and then kind of build on top of it. One more so than the other. The other one is a little bit more rigid in what it's going to be. But the first one is, I have a lot of different ideas, different takes on how I can make them interactive and how the degree of complexity of the execution of it, so I can sort of scale it up. I can start simple and scale it up. Now, it's possible that I will have things to work on that isn't like, it's not necessarily important for me to do it all in secret and not show anything until it's done, but it's possible that I can arrange things such that the stuff I would work on stream doesn't necessarily give away the full picture. Maybe it's going to be making art assets and stuff like that. I now that I think of it, that's not a terrible idea to like do a lot of the game logic stuff on Friday and not put any time really into art, and then do art on Saturday, and then on Monday kind of put more of it all together. I don't know. We'll see what form it takes. It really comes down to which part of it that I decide to work on Friday and how that goes. But the plan is, at least, to do a World of Jiggy dev stream on Saturday, whatever form that'll take. And that's something that I have been wanting to do at some point or another. I literally just have not spent any time working on it, even off stream, since before summer. I don't know if it's going to be like a regular occurrence, but you know, could be a fun thing to do. Of course, we're already like drowning in too many things I want to do and games I want to play on stream, so it's not like I'm short on like content, but trying to do it on stream could be another good way for me to like find the time to actually do work on it. If I can sort of kill two birds with one stone, right, and like have content to stream for a Saturday, I think it works well for that, and also like get stuff done for the project. That would be pretty cool. So you can consider this Saturday stream as sort of a test run for that idea, I guess. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how I enjoy it. We'll see how much progress I actually get to make. I look forward to hearing what people think, if it's like something that people actually want to watch. You know, it's hard for me to know, but that's the plan. So that's why I hope sincerely that we can get Rogue Agent out of the way before then, so we don't so I can set that aside, focus entirely on World of Jiggy for the entire like Friday through Monday, basically. And maybe next Monday, as a result, maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Normally, I work 4 days a week. I don't work Fridays normally. So my entire like weekend next weekend is going to be a little shaky. So there's a good chance that by the time, like, it's going to be fun work, of course, but I'm going to put in more hours than usual. So it's very, very possible that Monday, a week from now, I'm not necessarily going to be super eager to stream. So I would say, fairly likely that we'll skip Monday stream next week. But we'll see. We'll see. Golden Axe music, very soothing after 3 hours of whatever that was. Yeah. I don't disagree. But speaking of fatigue, we'll wrap things a little bit earlier than usual tonight. I don't see any benefit to trying to spend any more time with Rogue Agent than we already have. We made good progress. We even got that ability towards the end, and I think that's as good a place as any to up. Before I leave, let me see who is streaming that we may want to raid. Haven't been. Well, okay, here we go. Solid Snack doing Thanksgiving Day Inscrutable PC88 horror stream. Sounds pretty good. I guess it's Canadian Thanksgiving? I don't know. Whatever excuse anyone needs for PC88 Inscrutable horror sounds pretty good to me. So happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating. Happy PC88 horror if you're not, or just in general. Happy Monday, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys Wednesday, hopefully, for the conclusion of Rogue Agent on the DS. Have a good couple of days, evening, whatever. Have a good time. And I'll see you next.